After selling digital portraits on Etsy in 2021 and having pretty good success with it, I felt exhausted after all the work and wanted to try something new. Long story short, I started doing print on demand, then started doing the embroidery myself and had pretty good success with it. From January 2022 until August 2022, I just did print on demand with Printful and used their embroidery service, which was pretty great. I got roughly 35 orders each month and did about $14,000 in revenue, which was pretty great for a brand new Etsy shop. After doing competitor analysis and comparing my shop to the top sellers, I noticed that they were doing something different compared to mine. They did all of the embroidery themselves and could offer much cheaper prices, faster shipping times, more colors, more thread colors, and so on. So 3 weeks later, I got my embroidery machine and was ready to go. So why did I choose embroidery? I do not have any reason at all, just that I found Printful and saw that they offered embroidery service and thought I could give it a try basically. So why did I choose Etsy instead of creating my own website with like Shopify or WooCommerce was pretty simple. I had previous experience selling on Etsy and knew how to write good titles, tags, description, take good photos and so on. So it just made sense for me to create a new shop. Before I was able to create my own designs and started doing the embroidery myself, there was a few things left for me to buy. First of all, I had to get a label printer so I could print all of the labels. Then I got stabilizer and shipping bags. After that, I just had to find a supplier that could provide me with the clothing and I found one in Spain. When I used Printful, they charged me about $31 for each order and that include the sweatshirt and the shipping to the customer. When I did everything myself, which was about $7 for the sweatshirt, $9 for the shipping and $1 for the supplies, I made an extra $14 on each sweatshirt just in pure profit. So when taking a look at the stats here, you can see that in January I did about $700 in revenue, which was pretty great for my first month of course, and I got about 5,000 visits, and this is mainly through Etsy ads, as 47% came directly from Etsy ads. So I was pretty happy with the result, but the conversion rate was pretty bad. So when taking a look at February, you can see that the revenue increased, but my conversion rate dropped. This is mainly because I pushed Etsy ads so hard and could not get my customers to convert because I was a brand new Etsy shop, but I was still pretty happy with the results. So when taking a look at March, you can see that the revenue was pretty much the same, but the conversion rate was better and I had less visits but converted pretty good. I was pretty happy here with the results, and this is where I started to learn a few things about the embroidery business. I knew what the designs people liked and did not like. So when taking a look at April here, you can see that the revenue was also pretty much the same, but the conversion rate went up, which is of course good because more customers are converted, and that's the end goal. In May, the revenue was also the same again, but the conversion rate dropped, and I think this is mainly because it's summer and less customers are shopping, but it could be of course anything. But this is where I also noticed that what designs people liked and did not like. So you can see in June the conversion rate went up and the revenue was the same, and I got about 44 orders, which was pretty great. So in July you can see that the revenue was $2,000 and a 0.7 conversion rate, and I got about 50 orders, which was mainly t-shirt because they were my best sellers. And this is also the time that I got my embroidery machine and was ready to set up. In August I was just setting up everything for September and Q4, and I did about $2,000 in revenue. The conversion rate declined, but that's okay because I had the embroidery machine and was really looking forward to providing my own designs and much cheaper prices and shipping times. So September started getting really interesting. First of all, you can see that the revenue was $4,400 and I got about 105 orders, but the conversion rate was still at 0.8, which is not good. But this is where I started providing my own designs and started doing all the work myself, and you can really see the difference compared to the other month. And this is mainly because I started doing everything myself and could provide much better service, more colors, etc, etc. So in October it gets really interesting. So first of all, I had the best conversion rate of the year, which was 1%, and I got about 160 orders and did about $6,000 in revenue. And the best day is at $400, and this is the time where things started to really really happen actually, and I had a lot of customers, a lot of packages were being sent and everything, and it was a great time to actually see that everything was working out. Then November comes, which is also the best selling month of the year for almost any business and for mine too, and I did about $20,000 in sale with a conversion rate of almost 2% and almost 500 orders. This was of course crazy for me because this is where I actually got real success from it, and it was actually crazy making every item and embroidery every item and seeing all of the packages being shipped and delivered and customers being happy and leaving good reviews, etc. And it was really cool to actually see something that you build yourself actually come to place and people liking it. So in December I had the best conversion rate ever at 2.2%, but the revenue declined because I had to start turning the Etsy ads off, mainly because I had to make sure that I could ship every packages and make sure all the customers were happy. So my first year on Etsy, I did about $54,000 in sale with a conversion rate of 1% and 1,200 orders, which was just crazy. And this made me really confident in Etsy, and I should actually give this a real hard try. So when taking a look at my 2023 stats, you can see that the revenue increased and so did my conversion rate. And the reason for this is pretty simple. I created my own website and started doing all of the work on my website instead. I created my website in April, and that's when you can see the decline on Etsy and not really coming back at all after that. And when taking a look at my website, you can see I did about 3 million kronor in sales, which is about $300,000, and I had a really good success with TikTok and Facebook, and I thought that I should just continue having my own website and starting building my own brand instead of being reliable on Etsy. But after selling on Etsy in 2021 and 2022 and 2023, I can say that the platform is great, especially for starters just wanting to create a small shop and just try things out. I would highly recommend Etsy, that you should at least give it a try, and I will make more videos on my first digital portrait shop and just provide you with more information and how I created my shop and how I write tags, etc, etc. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.